What are some common mistakes homeowners make when they're preparing for a move?
One of the biggest common mistakes, you show up to move those people and they're not ready to move. I mean, they're not packed. There's still dishes in the sink. You have to be ready to move because there's a domino effect.
Yeah.
You moving out of that house has to be ready for somebody that's moving in it. It can be a nightmare.
So everybody move in the middle of winter. Let's switch it.
Or what I heard is be prepared.
Yes.
Lexie and I heard different parts to that.
Welcome to Lawrence Real and Local, Keeping It Real podcast presented to you by the Lawrence Board of Realtors. We're your go-to source for all things real estate in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm Lexie Haskin with Flint Mortgage.
And I'm Campbell Ragan with McGrew Real Estate. Together, we're here to make the journey to home ownership a breeze. Join us as we share insider insights, expert advice, and a dose of fun along the way.
Welcome to Lawrence Real and Local, Keeping It Real podcast by the Lawrence Board of Realtors. My name is Lexie Haskin with Flint Hills Mortgage.
And my name is Campbell Ragan with McGrew Real Estate.
And we are joined by Bobby Jones today with Professional Moving and Storage, and we are just thrilled to have him.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I was talking to Bobby, and I was like, we wanted to do a story episode about horror stories for the month of October. And he's like, I have stories. So I was like, okay, you just take it away. We'll just have fun with it. But
yeah,
we figured we'd at least ask a couple questions first. But do you want to give us some of your background before we just dive in?
Yeah, I originally moved to Lawrence in 1988 and moved to Kansas in 1984. And I was when I was in my 20s. I grew up in the southeast part of the United States, primarily in Kentucky. And I was transferred to Emporia, Kansas in 1984 by Walmart. And there's a whole long story there, but I was in a store in Mississippi and I was involved in a robbery.
Wow.
And I moved to Kansas to flee Mississippi. Not as a criminal, just for greener. Yeah.
You were not the robber.
No, I was robbed.
You were robbed.
Yes. And so I ended up in Emporia, Kansas, because there was a high school friend that was a district manager in Kansas for Walmart at the time, and he called me and he said, "Come to Kansas." And I said, "You're nuts. I've never heard of Kansas. I don't want to go to Kansas. Who lives in Kansas?" So,
we only have wheat and corn and cows here.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I basically spent a year in Emporia, and a year in Ottawa, and a year in Winfield. All three great places and fun towns and whatever, small towns, and that was what I was used to. And then I ended up in Lawrence, and that's a whole nother can of worms. And then I left Walmart because I began to hate it as they got bigger. Walmart was a very small company when I was in my 20s. So when I started at Walmart when part-time between summer jobs between college and high school. And they had 112 stores. And, we all knew Sam Walton and the whole nine yards. It was a small company. And so as they grew, and he passed away, I think, in 1990 or 91. I can't remember, but I left shortly after that because it was too corporate and too big. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't fun anymore. And I dabbled in some things for a while. And then a friend of a friend talked me into the moving business. And the rest, they say, is history. So that was 1996. Before you, before you both were born.
Yeah. Well, I might have been born depending on the month.
Yeah.
So. That was before I was born.
Now the viewers know my age.
Yes, now we can't keep it secret. Bobby just calling us out like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm old.
Whatever.
Yeah. So, I'm at the end of, I probably won't ever stop doing things. I'm not the person that can sit around or play golf 4 days a week. I'm not that person. I used to play golf a lot. I still play golf, but I don't want to play golf 4 days a week. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
So after and I probably won't ever relinquish everything at the company until I die,
Yeah.
which, could be.
I mean, it's your little baby.
You started it.
I don't know. It's kind of a brat. It's not been very well raised, but anyway. And then unbeknownst to us, we had no plan for this, but my son's been in the business 5 or 6 years with us, and that was not planned. He graduated college and went into the business world in advertising, and came to us and says, "I don't like the corporate world, and I want in." Mm-hmm. And I'm going, first said no.
Like,
And said, we don't, that's not what we want. We're going to do something with it someday and be done with it. But he insisted, so here we are.
And for those of you this might be your first episode watching, Reese has been on before the podcast and talking about different moving stuff as well. And if you wanted to hear Reese or get to know his personality a little bit, you can go watch that episode too.
Yeah, we're not the same. He's
what?
You're
different people.
Yes, he's a lot more chill and laid back than I am, and he's not as type A as his.
You bring different things to the company.
We do, and he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
We call it family owned, operated, and argued over.
And argued over.
Most days, yes.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah.
Well, let's just get into these quick questions and
Sure.
then let's get into the fun part, the stories.
Yeah.
So, what are some common mistakes homeowners make when they're preparing for a move?
Well, just like the real estate business, and whether you're an insurance or a mortgage lender or a realtor or a mover, we're all interrelated in what we do for the client, because it takes somebody wanting to relocate or move to generate anything for all of us. And that goes from the construction company to the builder to the subcontractors to the suppliers. I don't think the general public understands how much of our economy is regarded to, benefited by new construction or by an active housing market or whatever. We're all interrelated, and it's a big economy. But that being said, we had a move yesterday that, and I'll say no names, but the people were just not ready to move.
Yeah.
And you have a closing, of a new home, you have possession at 5 p.m. or possession at 1 p.m. or whatever the contract says there is.
Yeah.
You show up to move those people and they're not ready to move. By not ready to move, I mean they're not packed. There's still dishes in the sink. There's still whatever.
Yeah.
And you guys we've all seen it.
Oh, yeah.
And
I've done it myself, but I was moving myself. So, that was my own doing there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, one of the biggest common mistakes is you have these deadlines, and this is like in life, you have to be ready to move because there's a domino effect.
Yeah.
You moving out of that house has to be ready for somebody that's moving in it, and all these things. Thank God the money is electronic and all those things these days, because 30 years ago it was worse because
You'd wait for a check.
Checks had to be handed off at closing and all those kind of things. And it can be a nightmare. So luckily yesterday the client was actually super fantastic and understood what was happening and allowed us to throw more people at it.
Good.
But during the busy season and when the market's active,
You might not have the extra people to do that.
yeah, no.
Yep.
Or an extra truck or whatever.
Yeah.
So none of those things exist if it's June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In February, sometimes we can fix it.
Yeah.
So everybody move in the middle of winter. Let's switch it.
Or what I heard is be prepared.
Yes.
Lexie and I heard different parts to that. But
Let's make the whole year busy, not just a spring market.
Yeah, and it's the same thing when you write the contract, is that there's no reason in this day and age for you to come into a real estate contract. I mean, a very weird reason maybe, but saying we're going to sell today, Monday, but I'm not going to be able to take possession of the new house till Wednesday. But I have to move out and give possession to my buyer on Monday night. That world doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Some people create that world, but that world shouldn't exist in this day of electronic funding.
Yeah.
And that's impossible during the busy season for a mover too, because what do I do with your stuff once I load it? Because that truck's booked again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's booked again Wednesday.
Can't just sit there
No.
on the truck unless you're paying for 3-4 days of moving.
And
Which somebody could, I suppose. They could just give you a check for 4 days. But
our storage.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And there's certain times of the year in this town you can't rent a truck either.
Yeah.
And so because they're not available within, a 100-mile radius, because every university town is has that going on, which makes Lawrence also a challenging real estate market, because a lot, especially if you're renting, everybody's lease ends at the same time.
Yeah.
I think some people are getting away for that a little bit, which is nice to see, because it helps. And every mortgage lender wants to close on Friday.
I wouldn't necessarily say that I want to close on Friday all the time, because I don't know. I like Wednesdays. I like middle of the week.
I like any of the 5 days, just as long as they're not the same.
Yeah,
every
any of the 5 days. But it's like, I don't know. We always hope that nothing's going to pop up. But just in case something does, it gives you a couple days in the week to work with it, and then maybe a couple days after.
I think
Wednesdays
clients like to close on a Friday because they have the weekend to move.
Yeah, that's more of a client thing.
It starts to be.
Boil down to.
Yeah.
Easier to take off. That or like Monday, and they can just do a 3-day weekend to prepare to pack and then have everything out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your next question, I guess, is
he's going to ask the questions for us.
You go ahead.
He's going to ask and answer the questions. I'll
you
sit
made the
here.
mistake of giving me a list.
Here we go. So how can buyers and sellers avoid those issues with unexpected discoveries during a move?
Yeah. So you have a checklist. You have a checklist that you give your buyers. We have checklists. I suggest all the clients that are doing a move read those checklists, because most everything's on there, especially personal documents and papers and birth certificates and things that you have in drawers that have been there that you don't touch or see day to day, that have to be dealt with. Get those things out of the house and secured.
Yeah, safe spot where you know they're at.
Right. Those kind of things. Also, you need to know that if you've had the same Kenmore refrigerator with an ice maker plugged in for the last 32 years, you could have the potential of corrosion and a water drip, or all these pitfalls that have to be dealt with before your buyer can take possession. And the mover's not a plumber. Nor are they an electrician. So those things need to be thought about and prepared for. Your Kenmore washing machine from 1976 is still going strong, but water in Lawrence is hard, and if you don't have a water softener on there, you're going to have not the easiest disconnect to get some of those things off. And people don't think about those things very much.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Stuff you've hid in your attic.
I was going to say, speaking of different documents, the person that was in my house before he moved in had his social security card and stuff still in his attic.
In the attic, wow.
And some crazy paintings. But
interesting.
Yeah, it's just
things you find.
I know.
Yeah, things you find.
The things you find.
And older electronics, have lots of disconnect. Those kind of things have gotten better.
Yeah.
Over time, TVs are better.
Easier. Yeah.
I mean, TVs when you were born, were weighed 500 pounds.
Huge.
And
they were
big
staying with the house
boxes,
a lot of times because you ain't moving it out.
Yeah. And, but you need to plan on, if you've got a 3-piece slate pool table in the basement that's not staying with the house, I highly recommend you leave that with the house. But those things have to be disassembled, a lot of them by a professional.
Yeah.
Elaborate exercise equipment, all those things are going to bring your move to a sudden stop.
Yeah.
And cause a delay for you and your buyer, and a delay for you being able to unpack into your new house.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So you provide them with that checklist when they first kind of contact you and get booked. You send it out and
it's all electronically done now. But,
Nice.
But we know all of our customers primarily can read. Mm-hmm. But
primarily, yeah.
But we don't,
whether they follow the rules or not.
We don't know that they read what they should read.
Sometimes it's just the first couple lines, and then
and then the rest.
They get the gist of it,
or they forget about it. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
that one too.
Some people, they won't have they've. This doesn't happen very often, but occasionally you'll show up there and they've already disconnected their electricity. Well, that's not,
You need some light to know what you're moving.
Yeah.
I mean, that's dangerous for you guys.
And that's easier than it used to be, too, because those things transfer easier than they used to be because of technology. But back in the day, that was...
You have to wait around for somebody to show up.
Yeah.
You come through with your lanterns.
Not even flashlights, lanterns.
Yeah, here you got movers walking around in the dark. It's not really not really the safest.
In a place that they don't know.
Right.
Well, I said lantern because I was thinking you could get more light out of a lantern than a flashlight.
See, I was thinking more old school is where you're going with that.
Oh, no, I was thinking that you could get more light out of a lantern since they're all the way around light.
Well,
fair enough.
You must be a camper.
Actually, I'm more of a glamper.
Yes.
Glamping.
Oh, my goodness. So as we talk about insurance, what type of role does insurance play in protecting against moving-related mishaps?
Sure. And it's complicated, but as a general rule of thumb, you don't need any special insurance, or in the moving industry, we call that valuation. It's really not insurance, but the mover is insured for any physical damage they do to your residence. And by that, I mean if we back the truck into your garage door. So you don't need insurance for that. The client doesn't need insurance for that, or your homeowners wouldn't participate in that. That's on the mover.
Yeah.
And this varies by...
Well, if you're hiring a company, if it's your best friend, then
they don't have
that's
it.
a different issue.
Thank you.
Yeah. Clarification.
Your
best friend's not going to pay for that and take care of that, but a moving company has that insurance.
No matter how many 12 packs of beer they bring and pizza.
It's not going to fix it.
Yeah. So, it's really, that's one of the reasons you hire professionals to do things. That's why you hire a real estate agent. That's why you have title insurance. It's all those things are there
as a protection.
Yes, when they have to be, not because they should be every time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when you need them, you need them.
It's very true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is covered. And then in the state of Kansas, the limited liability for an item that movers touch, load and load off truck, is basically 60 cents per pound per item of furniture.
Oh, wow.
So when you take a table that weighs 100 pounds, there's $60 worth of coverage towards that table. Now, that would cover a touch-up, a scratch, a dent, whatever. Yeah. And that's free also. That's included. All movers that are licensed and legal have to provide that. Additional coverage can be purchased by either replacement cost or used cost, or whatever you want, however you want to say it. So on a local move, very little of that happens. And we 99.9% of the time go to the end of the earth to make that 60 cents per pound stretch to anything that might have been our fault. And any mover that you would ever talk to that sits here and says that nothing has ever happened on any of their jobs is bold-faced liar, because...
Oh, there's just no way. I mean, as many things as you touch, and
there's human beings involved, and And our people are well trained and very good, but they're human beings. We wrap, we pad, we do all kinds of stuff. Also, there are exclusions. So an exclusion would be a dresser that you assembled from IKEA that I know my daughter had this entertainment center and she got it from IKEA and it weighed 16,500 pounds. And she was on a third floor apartment and by the time I got to the stairs with it, I said, I'm not doing this ever again for you. And then the booklet was 37 pages. Okay, 30
part.
Yeah, for an entertainment center. and by the time I got it together, I said, I'm never touching this again. This stays with this apartment.
Like, this is staying here, and you're just gonna have to get another entertainment center.
Yeah, because moving it, you'd have to have that 37-page book again because it's going to fall apart. And so things that you assemble from Walmart and Target and IKEA and things like that are not covered.
Yeah.
Because you put them together. And we don't know how good you are at that.
Well, my husband, I started to, and he's like, you're not tightening things enough. You don't get to put this stuff together. I'm like, okay, you do it. I don't really care.
And I always use glue too that's not included.
Yeah.
Because that helps. But yes, we will attempt to move those things for you. If it falls apart, we're not going to help you with it. But we will move it, of course.
Yeah.
Things like pianos and things like that are built to be moved. And there's special ways to move different size piano. We are the regional delivery company for Steinway in Kansas City, so we move a lot of expensive pianos. We're moving a brand new Steinway today, by the way, that's worth $115,000. And we unboxed it yesterday in our warehouse. Do either of you play piano?
I can dabble. I played from like 1st to 8th grade, and I really only know how to or remember how to play Someone Like You by Adele. So that's my little party trick, like the same one of like that, the one that people play on the guitar. You know what I mean? No, like
Stairway to Heaven.
Oh well, no, I was like the one where they're like, okay, it's like that 17-year-old at the party that always plays that one song.
I don't know that one song.
God. It's Stairway to Heaven.
I don't think it is Stairway to Heaven.
It was in my day.
Anyways,
I'll remember
Lexie
this song.
does not play the piano, is what I hear. I definitely do not play the piano.
I dabble, and Noah plays the piano, my husband, and he teaches voice lessons, so he does the piano all the time.
He's a pro.
Yes. I'm looking up that song. You guys continue.
Well, so that kind of leads into our next question about, are there certain items that people should never transport with movers?
Yeah, it depends on the situation and the move. If you have possession of the home before you move, which happens more and more in this day and age, which, number one, you're lucky.
Early possession.
Early possession is a privilege.
Yeah. In a moving scenario, definitely.
Well, and it is for the homeowner too, because then you can take your coat closet or your things that are difficult for the homeowner to pack are pictures, mirrors, and lamps.
Yeah.
Lampshades are not meant to be moved.
No.
and pictures have glass and those kind of things. So if you have an SUV and can take your lamps ahead of time and those kind of things, it's you're
easier.
Yeah, and you're better
safer.
off and money ahead.
Yeah.
You can't do that on a cross-country move. So those things need to be packed by professionals.
And secure.
And we do that. And, of course, we do a lot of that. And we do a lot of cross-country moving. We're an agent for National Van Lines, and packing is a big deal. But also on a cross-country move, your insurance or your valuation goes farther if we pack it. So it's kind of like the UPS box that you shipped.
Yeah.
Its contents unknown. And we don't know how you packed grandma's candy dish.
Yeah.
So if that for some reason got broken on its trip from New York to California, it's probably not going to be allowed by the claims department. at the van line but if we packed it, we have the liability for it then.
Gotcha.
The mover does.
That makes sense.
And that doesn't change from mover to mover. Those are rules for everybody.
Yeah.
So those are the things. Important documents we talked about, things in your little home safe. If you're also privileged and have a Hope Diamond in your collection, you don't want to leave that in a box or perchance or whatever.
Yeah.
Because insurance companies are founded on the fact of what possibly could happen in the world has some reasonable percentage or expectation of having to happen someday. And so you need to take care of that stuff yourself.
So important documents and then pictures, those things that are easily broken.
Non-costume jewelry,
Yep.
birth certificates, passports, you name the list,
Do it yourself.
That can easily go in one box in the trunk of your car.
Yeah.
And you'd be well off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And you need that passport if you're moving to Canada or wherever.
So what if I wanted to ask you to move my fireworks?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Yeah. Flammables, combustibles, explosives, all no-nos.
Oh, okay.
So
I have to do that myself.
Yep, your grenade launchers, any of those kind of things that you have for your next terrorist attack that you're planning, we can't take.
What about ashes?
Ashes?
Yeah, like from a
From a deceased person?
or even like pets or anything like that. Deceased person pets.
Sure, you can pack those and move those.
But that's probably more of a valuable item that you would like to probably
Well, I
move
know
yourself along with those important documents.
Well, I'm just asking because I know you can't put those in the mail. Like you can't mail those.
Oh, you can't?
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
We learn something every day.
Yes,
yeah.
we do.
So I won't go into that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
brings me up to another thing. We can move guns
Okay.
if they're boxed, and they have to have serial numbers written on the box, and those serial numbers have to be inventoried, but not the ammunition with the gun. So.
There's a certain way to pack those.
That's right. We can take your grenade launcher, but not the grenade that goes in it.
Good to know.
Good to know.
Which will bring us to the stories we had. We packed. This is 25 years ago plus probably, but we packed an entire house over on Oak Tree Drive, which is a nice area. Packed the entire house. The husband said that no one would touch his garage. They were moving to Utah. Don't even remember their names, but I can tell you, I can drive down there and show you their house. I remember the house, and I'll remember he had quite the beer can collection. I can remember those things, like you guys can.
The
right?
random. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's got 2 Jack and Jills upstairs. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So how we look at things, right?
Yes.
We remember the house and the physical things. So they get to Utah, and the lady calls the office and is screaming. It wasn't our driver. The van line had taken it. She's screaming about her sofa smells like gasoline. And we're going, well, and you packed us. Well, we packed everything but the garage.
Yeah.
So her husband packed a gas can full of gas. Now, he had to be a highly educated person, but probably no common sense. Because
there's book smart, then there's street smart.
That's right. And I don't think this man was street smart because everything they owned smelled like gasoline.
Oh, no.
And so they had to send their clothes to the cleaners and, because they were in wardrobe boxes and all these things because the man packed a foot and it was upright in the box with other stuff. The gas wasn't turned upside down, but it's in a truck for 1,500 miles.
Yeah, that's a trip.
And over several days.
Oof.
So anyway,
especially if it was summertime, it would be, fumey.
That was one where the customer shot themselves in the foot. And of course they filed a claim and blamed the mover. Well, that's not going to apply. So that was denied. But anyway, That was one of the silliest things that I can remember of a customer sabotaging their own move. Sabotaging their own move. If I can talk, but anyway.
Don't pack gas.
Don't pack gas.
Don't pack gas.
In your cross-country move.
Or fireworks. You brought it up.
Yeah.
That can happen. Those things are in the insurance business, we call those perils. Those perils are there.
Mm-hmm. They're going to cause issues.
Yeah, that's not going to be covered. Yeah. And who knows what your homeowner is going to cover in that regard too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true.
Before I go into more stories, I think I remembered the song. It's Wonderwall by Oasis. Today's gonna be the day that's gonna come back to you.
Oh.
All right. I guess I didn't hit that period in my life there, but
Maybe I just had a friend that just played that over and over again. He'd be like,
must be.
He'd be like, okay, guys, I got another song. And then he'd play it again, and then he'd start again. Okay, sorry, that was completely off, but I just wanted to let you know I did remember the song I was thinking of.
Circled back.
So, yeah, I circled back. I always come back to it.
Well, we could,
I mean, we can do like a singing episode at some point, but that's
not
not the point of this episode, Bobby.
We could, sometimes you sing or laugh or cry,
I'm out.
You're out?
That is not part of my duties here.
On Friday, you can catch Bobby and me at karaoke at Jade Bar.
Yeah.
We'll get a room.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I will not be partaking.
Oh my gosh.
So to finalize this, this particular question, don't pack things that. Another thing is liquid bleach or
Oh my God.
liquid chemicals. Those things can damage other things, and so you don't want to pack things that are gonna sabotage your own personal items.
Household cleaners. I guess you need to look through those before you start
Yeah.
moving.
I wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah, we had a person again several years ago that she decided that she was going to move cross country with pods, but and she wanted it all packed in a container but she wanted us to load the container, and we show up to load the container, and she's got a 5-foot Steinway baby grand, and she didn't order any pads.
Oh no.
Or materials for the container because that's an extra charge.
Oh no.
And so, that was probably an $80,000 piano that is going to go bare naked across country.
Oh,
and it's like, why don't you just throw your stuff in the trash and start all over if that's what you think your possessions are worth, so you can save money on your move you're going to destroy. And so our guys call and go, they're going, we're not comfortable with this.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not loading this.
They knew it was going to break. It's not going to be packed right.
Well,
so
it's just,
you don't want that liability.
It may not break, but it's got to get all scarred up. And, it's just not the way to treat that possession. Also, there's times when, the guys will call and they're packing a house and they'll go in, I don't want to be responsible for the drugs that are in their bedroom.
Understandable.
So, because they're going to get stolen. They got street value here, and we don't want to get accused of doing that. Or there'll be cash or things like that. Yeah. And our guys will call and say, can you come ask them to remove those things? Or adult toys. There's all kinds of things that you come across, that you just need to put away, pack them into.
Don't make
value your privacy and make sure those are not there
put away
for the world to see.
Yeah. And nor do you want to discover those when you're showing a property either, right?
No, not really. And please keep those put away.
Normally, let's have those put away.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, like with the cash, a lot of people do the mattress money. Like people put a ton of stuff like in their mattress or under their mattress. That's what we call the cash mattress money.
Yeah.
I will say I do not. So
well, okay, I don't do that. So nobody come over to my house and think that I have it.
Movies. I don't.
No, I've legitimately talked to people and they're like, "Hey, I have like $5,000 cash under my mattress, and I'm saving this for my home." And I'm like, deposit that right now. I was like, we need to have that.
Wow, I really just thought this was a movie
We need
thing.
to have this in there for X amount of time. It needs to be seasoned. You can't make this large deposit.
Because we have to prove it wasn't gifted to you or
or
whatever, right?
Or you didn't get it from a drug purchase, or it wasn't laundered, or just like this whole thing. So no, it's a thing.
Okay.
And one last one, and you all have been involved in this transaction before, is that when you get a contract and you know where you're moving, let us know.
Yeah.
Oh, you need the address?
Address and maybe a potential move date because, well, we just wanted to wait to make sure that it was going to close because, well, guess what? If you wait 5 days before you close, we're booked.
Yeah.
So
Plan it out.
That new buyer has to have probably 30 days before they can get their money to buy your house. So tell us if it doesn't close, we can reschedule you without penalty.
Yeah.
But we can't create a truck and 4 guys,
magically
by snapping our fingers.
What?
Especially during the busy time.
Right. But you can order pizza on DoorDash.
And try to get your best friend to move your stuff and maybe run into your house and not be able to do anything about it.
And I had this, it's amazing what you can do in this world today. So I was babysitting a few weeks ago and Reese and Sarah's toilet was stopped up. And they had purchased the house last summer, so I didn't know where their plunger was. And so I couldn't find the plunger. But I was ordering dinner because the baby was asleep. So I got them to stop at Dollar General and get a plunger with my food for $3.98.
Oh my God.
You can get a plunger delivered with your chicken strips.
Naturally.
And I was able to fix their toilet and have dinner. But you couldn't.
You were a miracle worker,
I'm telling
Bobby.
you.
I'm sure they love that you're telling this story right now. They absolutely love it.
Yeah, well, to be fair, with the baby, I probably might have flushed some of those flushable wipes.
Oh, the truth comes out.
It wasn't my flush, but it might have been. It might have been some
irresponsible flushing.
Right, because you both are in the middle of poopy diapers right now. So you not personally, but you're
Well, not personally.
Yeah, babies at home.
Babies.
So, yeah, and Grandpa's trying to clean this stuff up. And anyway,
we put it in the trash can, Bobby.
Yeah, but it was right there. And anyway, so yes, I stopped their toilet up. But anyway, so you can get that plunger delivered with your food, but you cannot get a human being delivered the day before your move because there's schedules involved that DoorDash or COVID or whatever won't replace the human factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Definitely. There's not robots that can move.
Not
boxes.
yet.
But I literally think people think there are.
Yeah.
Well,
I really do. And so we have to be respectful of these hardworking guys that say, well, hey, when they get done with that job, can they go do this one? Well, they can, but they won't show up tomorrow because they'll be half dead because it's 105 degrees outside and they've, and
yeah, the weather. I mean, I've seen some movers.
It's a tough job.
Throw up. I mean, yeah. It's not fun.
It's a tough job. It's a young man's sport.
Yeah.
So what are some of the craziest things that you've seen on move jobs?
Yeah. So a couple really come to mind. I mean, there's a lot, by the way, but two really good ones are I went to a man's house, and this is a long time ago, out west of town towards Lecompton. And you always know when you're doing the quote that it's a divorce because this sofa's going, that one's not. This chair's going, that one's not. Those kind of things.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so you don't want – sometimes I pry if I know the people. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes they tell you their life story. Sometimes they don't. This guy was just saying, I want this chair, that chair, this one, it's going here. Okay. Pretty simple transaction, whatever. Unbeknownst to anyone in this, so that's person A. I go to Kansas City the next day and meet a lady, person B. And she's getting a divorce. And she is telling me the life story, and we're moving that whole house basically because, anyway, the whole story is she told me that she found out about the divorce that she decided to get a divorce because some random person called her and told her about her husband and his wife, and that he had found out that they had had a place together for 23 years and nobody knew it. Okay. Now this is where it gets interesting.
Wait, I was gonna say, and then are they?
Wait.
Okay.
So we got A and B.
So we're getting a picture going here, people.
So then we have number C. Number C is the couple that are moving in together now and have, because of these two pending divorces, have now become public. Okay, so it's his wife and her husband. A and B don't know each other. Okay? They met through a random phone call that I just thought you should know kind of phone call.
Yeah.
You would do that on instant messaging today. But anyway, so C, I do the move for C. So I'm involved in this triangle, all three legs. Then a few months later, A and B met over this crisis and they get married.
Oh my gosh.
So you're doing the move for A and B together. They're moving in together.
So what it ended up after the fact is they just ended up switching partners. And none of the four knew the other person's partner beforehand. So it wasn't like you.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a really complicated.
And the fact that you were the moving company for all those individuals is pretty wild.
And here's the deal. They've moved since.
Wow.
And they call us back, and they call me actually personally and say, "You're the only one that we could tell this," because you. And it all ended up what was really a big tragedy. Oh, and by the way, their kids knew each other beforehand and went to the same school, but didn't know. Anyway, so it's quite a triangle. So that's a really good, interesting one. But it all ended up good. Everybody ended up happy in the end.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was a nice one that had potentially to be like on Dateline. Because you do. I mean, it is, right? Death and taxes and divorce. Those are the big stresses in life, right? And then
you've probably seen some people during some stressful times. I mean, sometimes moves are not wanted. So yeah.
Especially the longer you've been in your home and you haven't come to grips with the fact that you might be losing some of your independence and some of those things. Those are difficult for people, and because Americans are attached to their stuff. Yeah, and I don't think it's that way in a lot of other countries, but it is in the United States. The other one, I had just the most fun couple. They were both in their late 80s, and they had met and decided to get married. So this man comes into our office and he's going to move. I'd already given the lady the estimate at her home, but he came to the office and said, and then I said, all right, where are you moving to? And this is back in the day where we wrote the contracts by hand. And he's telling me where he's moving to, and I'm going, that address is familiar. I'm thinking, and then I looked and I go, oh, I was there last week. So I said, oh, you're moving in together. And he said, yes. Do you know her? And I said, yes, I'm moving her too. Anyway, it was really sweet, right? It was very, very, very sweet. They were just wonderful people. And he comes back in about 4 months later into the office and says, I'm moving. And I said, oh, he goes, what's the matter? Did she throw you out? And I'm just joking with him. He goes, no, she died.
Oh.
And it was so sad. So I stuck my foot into that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Insert foot into mouth.
yeah. So they weren't together very long, but they moved in together. It was just the sweetest story.
Oh.
But anyway, so yeah, we get involved in, as we all do, in it's a big life thing when they're doing moves and things like that. So it's
Very big.
It's a big thing. How are we set for time?
We actually probably need to wrap it up a little bit.
Can we go another couple hours?
Hey,
We might have to do a part 2.
part 2.
Yeah.
But what do you want to leave us with?
I want to leave you with this, is because we were talking about, kind of the principles of my life and things that my father told me a lot when I was a kid. And sometimes he had to really not only tell me, but hammer it with like physical hammers and stuff, because I was not that kid. I had a good time when I was young, and
Nothing wrong with having a good time.
But he said, number one, get your rear up and get to work at something every day, and number two, make your bed. There's a book out by a military man. I don't know if you've read that book, but
I've heard that. Yeah,
it's a wonderful book. At least you've done something right if your day goes wrong.
Starting the day.
Yes. Yep. My father always insisted that you leave it better than you found it, especially when you're messing with his tools and those kind of things. And he even checked the mileage on my car on the weekend when if my car was dirty, I was not allowed to go out, all those kind of things. And he had this thing that two things. You'll be judged by effort. You won't be judged by effort. You'll be judged by lack of effort.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I think that's a big disconnect in this world right now. And then this one is weird.
Okay, hit us with it.
But there was a PSA commercial. I grew up in a recreational type area on a big lake, and my father would say, safe boating is no accident.
Yeah. That's true. You really have to be intentional.
Yeah.
So he would, it's applied to wear your life jacket, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
No, he applied it to everything. So it took me 15, 16 years, and I still don't think I understand what he meant. But he said that to everything. Anywhere I went, when I left for the day, whatever, he'd go, safe boating is no accident, which was just his way of saying, be aware, be careful, do the right thing.
Yep.
So
Nice.
That was a good thing to leave us with.
It was. Yeah.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for
goes
coming
so
on,
much.
Bobby. It does go really fast. Yeah.
I know. It really does.
And for everybody listening, I don't know what I was about to say actually, but thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for watching, and thank you, Bobby, and thank you, the Lawrence Public Library.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you.
Okay, signing out.
Thanks for joining us on Lawrence Real and Local, Keeping It Real podcast. We appreciate our guests taking the time to join us. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you've enjoyed today's episode.
For more information, please visit us on the web at www.lawrencerealtor.com. And remember, whether you are buying, selling, or simply dreaming of your future home, we're here to help. Until next time, keep it real
And happy house hunting.